Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast. Your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Stuff and Things Podcast, Walking Dead special. I say special, just basically me catching up because we're a few weeks behind, but this is the Walking Dead Season 11 Episode 8 review, and joining me to discuss the episode is my partner in crime, it's Stefan.
Hey, we're back.
We are.
We made it.
Yeah, just about. So yeah, apologies everybody. COVID is struck me again, unbelievably. So
I'd say you have had a fun time with this, haven't you?
Yeah, no, not even a little bit. I can laugh and joke about most things and injuries and illness, and this has been absolutely friggin' awful. So. Yeah. But yeah, so we're a bit late. Apologies, everybody. I'm going to do my best to get through the show without coughing uncontrollably. I have cough sweets to hand, and I'll do my best to edit it out when I do, because it's inevitable. But as I said, it's Season 11, Episode 8, and the title of the episode...
For Blood.
Yes. It's obviously been a while since I watched it now, but I've got my notes.
Yes.
And sometimes it's quite good to kind of sit back on an episode before going over it, so hopefully that's going to be the case here. But what did you, because I normally class this as a mid-season finale, because obviously episode 8, however it's not, it's like a third,
quarter season, third,
yeah, so it's a bit odd, but
we had a death though, we had a character die, so tick the box.
That has to happen. But what were your overall thoughts of the episode and the opening 8 as a kind of story setting us up?
I have actually enjoyed these 8 episodes more than I have enjoyed anything out of the Walking Dead universe for quite a while.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
I mean, we've got obviously the world beyond has restarted, and that's just, we don't talk about that yet.
No, we don't talk about that yet.
But yeah, the actual opening 8 episodes I think have been really good. There's nothing happened really that's made us go, oh, this again. Or normally we get that. Whereas this has actually been really quite good. You've had the whole Negan and Maggie side of it. You've had the Daryl re-meeting his love of Leia, and it's all been it's been pretty good so far.
No, I'd agree with that.
Eugene has only annoyed me momentarily, so it's all bonuses.
Yeah, I mean, the overarching stories of, what's going on in the Commonwealth has been interesting. That's been kind of like, and it's kept our interest because we're not sure if they're part of the community with where Rick is, etc.
Yeah, is he going to suddenly appear?
Yeah, so that's all kind of strange and interesting.
Someone's going to walk past. Look, I stole this guy's hat. Wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, no, it's just kind of like, it's interesting anyway. We're not sure what's going to happen there, but it sort of can't take your eyes off it because you want to know. You got the situation going on back at Alexandria where the people are literally going to starve if they don't get all the food.
Which is a nice kind of new thing to be brought in. We haven't had that for years.
Yeah, we haven't had that.
Season 3, we had the old dog food thing, and we haven't really had it since.
No, I mean, it's kind of the journey that the characters go on. Once they got behind walls and were able to establish, farming and stuff like that, then of course they were going to be able to be more secure and be able to control their food and stuff like that. So it's just interesting that obviously the Whisperers wrecked that. Totally destroyed.
Yeah, you have crops, let me burn them.
Yeah, so you're now in a situation where you're having to start again. The walls, they're struggling with full stop.
Keep having random holes appear.
Yeah, so I mean, that's been interesting. Meeting Pope and his band of kind of religious zealot mercenary soldiers.
There's an interesting bloke.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. But so focusing in on this episode then, We'll start with the cold open, which was Negan and Maggie taking out someone whisperer style, is what I've written.
Yeah, that's gone full circle, isn't it, for Negan?
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Didn't you think that was kind of weird?
It was a little bit kind of like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Didn't we hate the guys that were doing this? Like, Jesus tried to stab someone and they missed it and then they killed him, and we were like, oh, how dare you? And now they're doing it, and it's like, well...
I'm glad you picked up on that, because it's such an interesting thing. It's like when your team does it, it's like, what a great tactic. When the opposition does it, it's evil. You know?
Yeah, I'm waiting for someone else to smash someone's skull in and us go, no! Wait, we've seen this. But is it okay? Because he's now our team. Yeah.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, Negan just Lucille'd one of these guys. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. I'm waiting for it. Negan's going to do it to one of them and we'll be like, oh, yay, he saved the day!
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I don't know. What's your thoughts on Negan at the moment? Because I am... all the way through these 8 episodes, on a fairly regular basis, I've said to you, and I've said it on the podcast, I find it very odd that I find myself agreeing with his point of view.
He's got his head screwed on better than anyone else has.
Do you think... I hated those stupid episodes that they did in isolation.
Yep.
The only 2 episodes in that were worth watching was the Negan origin one.
Yep.
And the episode where Daryl met Leia.
Yeah, they're probably the only 2 that have had any correlation to anything that's still happening.
To be honest with you, that was kind of like a dog origin episode.
Yeah, we had Negan origin and dog origin. Yeah.
And those 2 seem to be the only ones that really had any kind of lasting impact from me anyway. The rest of it I felt was a complete filler. Now, the Negan one, we saw him relive his kind of darkest moments. He's there on his own. He's kind of reliving the pain of all these things and remembering how he became the person he became, why he became that and everything. And at the very end of it, we see Lucille, as in the vampire bat, break. He, gets rid of it. He kind of puts that to bed and then returns to Alexandria. And I remember at the end of the episode, it's kind of got that look on Maggie's face, and Negan kind of has this smile, and I'm like, oh, there's dark things coming.
Yeah.
But over these 8 episodes, it's been less dark things coming and more kind of him acting in a way you'd expect someone... I don't know, just like the stuff he says and everything would not be out of place with Rick saying it. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%. Like, there's silly things like, so Maggie's determination to keep going, and him being the only one going,
yeah, are you sure this is the right move?
Yeah, we can take this back and get more people and have a chance, or we can go for suicide. Why are you choosing suicide? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, on like a fairly regular basis, it's like I mean, we had the conversation as well in the episode where I think it was the previous episode 7, where they're sat down and she says to him, and they have the conversation about killing people.
Yeah,
and he brings up I know what it's like to lose people in a massacre.
Yeah,
and she's like trying to be really dismissive of it.
No,
like,
you don't. Actually, you went into a place and killed all my men. Yes, I do.
Yeah, and he's like, and they had wives, boyfriends, husbands, girlfriends, family members, and they're all looking to me as like, why didn't I protect? Why, as the leader, didn't I protect their people, their loved ones? Yeah. And it was interesting. It's just like this perspective, and it's something we talked about at the time. Like, he would have only killed 1 if it weren't for Daryl, but he killed 2 people in retaliation for about 50 plus being killed.
I think we've said before as well. Like, imagine if the whole way through we had been following the Negan story.
Yeah, Rick in the group would be evil.
Yeah, this group of survivors came over and have just taken out an entire outpost. Well, they'd be the big bad guys, and we'd be hoping that we go get them.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an interesting. I like that they've dealt with that. I like that it's kind of been a discussion point, and I like the fact that it's Negan and Maggie doing that discussion.
Yeah.
So sort of bouncing around. Let's go to Alexandria. Alexandria, there is a massive storm, which is kind of hilarious because me and you, like a couple of weeks back, said, you know, you need some sort of weather elements or something that's not always Walker related.
I was so happy.
Lo and behold, there's a big ass storm strikes, which of course, and it's been set up brilliantly because in the background of all the episodes and all the storylines that have been ongoing has been a continuing struggle with walls and trying to fix things.
Yeah.
So it's not been like a kind of, oh no, the walls are broken, oh here comes a storm. It's not been like that. It's been really well driven into us. So the minute you know a storm's coming, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, those walls aren't going to hold very well against this.
Exactly, yeah. So it was very well done. You see a lightning strike set a windmill on fire. That was quite a cool visual.
Yeah, isn't that because the windmill was kind of like the first thing this group did was Maggie got the plans for the windmill, and that was kind of the start of the new era. It was Maggie building the windmill, and now we've just watched it burn and crumble. And it's like, oh, that's symbolic. Yep, okay.
Very, very symbolic. Yeah, so the windmill's on fire, the fence is clearly broken, walkers are coming in. Judith's talking to Grace about fear. That was kind of I don't know, quite a strange little thing. I mean, I'm sort of watching it and I'm like, Judith has a very different perspective to most of the other kids. She's, you know, she used to go out with Michonne training her to take down walkers with her katana and stuff. Yeah. She's got a far more experience of the walkers than anyone else.
Especially at that age. Yeah.
At that age, definitely at that age, yeah. And she's sort of talking to Grace about, no, I was sort of watching that and I was thinking, that's not going to end well. It's like she's got into Grace's head and Grace is going to run off to try and prove herself. Do you know what I mean? It was like, I can understand Judith's point of view, but I don't see that ending well.
Yeah.
Virgil's there, and I'm kind of like, what's Virgil going to say? He starts talking about Michonne.
That was a sentence where I was waiting for something. You know what I mean? I was like, he's going to say it.
Yeah.
Where's she gone? Oh, I don't know. You lie, man.
Well, she's gone looking... Well, basically, she found like an etching and some cowboy boots, and she's gone looking for the guy... I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Would you like to explain that a bit better? No, come on, tell us.
Yeah, but nothing was said, so that was kind of like a dirty little tease from the Walking Dead writers there.
Is it with Virgil? I don't know if it's just a case of he's not really stood out to me very much, but every time I see him on the screen, it takes me a second or two of going, wait, who is this bloke again? Who was it again?
Yeah.
Yep, I got it.
Well, the episode where he suddenly was with the deaf character whose name escapes me from it, Connie, I didn't know who I thought at first he was the new guy. You know, it took me a good minute to work out who the hell he was. So yeah, I'm the same as you on that. He's not been in it a lot. I mean, he had that one episode with Michonne, which was really weird. Yeah. And then the next one where he rocked up at Harbourside or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an odd one, but it's an interesting character anyway. And interesting listening to and knowing that he knows why Michonne went off. It's like a ticking kind of.
Yeah, tell us.
At some point, he's going to say it, and people are going to react to it. You know.
I hope so. Gosh, I hope so.
You and me both. There's a scene with Gracie getting grabbed. If anyone's ever watched horror movies or this show or anything similar, you could see it coming a mile off.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. Get away from the windows. No. Do this. No. It's going to happen.
Do you find with stuff like that, you almost know it's going to happen when the camera angle changes now?
Yeah, we've spoken about this before, haven't we? Like, if you see a character's face or something from a certain angle, you're like, wait for it.
Yeah, their head's going to explode, or you're going to see them get bit out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just like the camera angle change, and I'm almost cringing, like, oh, I know something's about to happen. I don't know what it's going to be. But she gets grabbed. The house is completely surrounded, and we have a moment where I can almost feel your tension, even though we're not in the same room.
Was this possibly about the most unenjoyable few moments of The Walking Dead I've had to witness?
Is this Rosita goes out alone to try and fight back the walkers?
She's been getting, the last few episodes, she's had a few decent moments. Like she had the little sit down and talk about losing people with Judith, and then she runs out on her own. And I'm sat there going, I will switch it off.
I'm a little concerned, genuinely a little concerned, because when she comes back in, she looks mortified. She looks upset. Mm-hmm. I got a horrible feeling she's been bitten.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I mean, I've literally written here, Rosita goes out alone, fights them back, and I've just put like one of the badass survivors, of course she does. Comes back in, doesn't look good. Has she been bitten? ?
Yeah, she's like soaking wet, but she is like, it's just the look on her face when she looks at Judith, and I'm like,
it is the look on her face. Now, see, the thing is, we could be overthinking it, because they got us with Carl with that. Remember? And it was like, we all kind of, because there's Carl plot armor, it didn't happen. And then when they went back to the episode, we're like, we all saw it happen.
Yep.
But none of us wanted to see it happen, so it didn't happen in our eyes. And then when they showed us again, we were like, damn it.
Yeah, it did happen right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit nervous with that. Mm-hmm. I'd hate that to be how Rosita goes.
Yep.
Yeah, so
it'll
fingers
be a very,
crossed.
very sad way of me leaving the podcast, I tell you.
Fingers crossed it's not. Fingers crossed it's just a case of, you know, it was quite a traumatizing moment.
Yeah, she's just been out there and slashed away at all these people, possibly people that she knew.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, that is what it is.
There you go, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah. I do think, I think if fans of The Walking Dead, who followed these characters for quite a long time, I do think perhaps I ought to say at this point, the show is ending.
Yeah.
So there is a very real possibility that a lot could be killed off.
Oh, man. Do you know what? I hadn't even really thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are coming to the end. And if they want to end it properly, then they kind of need to end it with not many people left for people to start doing well, in a couple of years they could start it again, because we still know that X, Y, and Z are still alive, so they could... Yeah. Oh, man, I am not emotionally ready for this.
Well, it's an interesting thought. Anyway, apologies everyone. There's a wrapper being unwrapped. This is the next cough sweet being put in.
That's fine. As you apologise for that, I've just realised there may be a slight tapping noise throughout my recording of this podcast.
Okay.
It is Halloween coming up.
Yeah.
So we have put these silly glow-in-the-dark skeletons all around the front of our house. And one of them continuously, every time there's a slight breeze, is rapping on the front window.
Nah,
it's driving me insane in the real life, so therefore if you can hear any tapping on the podcast, it's the freaking skeleton out the front.
Alright, well, we'll do our best to edit it, but apologies.
Yeah.
What are they called?
What?
Well, I call them a skeleton. You appear to be calling them skeletons.
Skeletons.
Skeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomato. Potato.
So we got that. Gracie and Judith get trapped in like a flooding basement. I mean, that was quite a predictable thing to happen.
Now, I had no fear for Judith at all, but for Gracie, on the other hand, I was getting a little bit nervous.
Yeah, very. The thing is, and this is the joy of the fact we know it's coming to an end. I do have a little bit of fear for a few of the characters now. Like Rosita, I wouldn't have been fearful at all for, but because I know the show's ending, I was anxious. Judith, you'd imagine in your mind there can't be you can't lose Judith, but at the same time I'm like, you could, You know, you could do that.
Because Judith would be one of the big characters for people to go, yeah, but in a few years' time we can start again with Judith now as a grown-up. And
well, she is quite literally the child of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
You know, everyone pointed to Carl being the... I always loved the whole show was the old man Carl theory.
I loved that theory.
Which was Carl sat around a campfire telling a group of survivors the stories of his dad, Michonne, all the people they met along the way.
That's how it explained why some things were so over the top and so dramatised.
Because he was young.
And this guy had a tiger, like an actual tiger.
And perhaps Ezekiel just had a cat.
It was a very, very young tiger cub, actually. But it's big time. And it made so much sense, and it would have been such a great way. Like, the last episode is Carl with his dad's beard and hat talking about it all. I would have been brilliant, but no.
Well, someone did like an amazing illustration of it, drawing, and in the drawing it was a guy with an eye patch, Rick's hat, like you said, the beard. He's got Rick's hand cannon. He's got the katana, and he's also got Lucille. You know, he was like fully weaponized, sat there at the campfire. Now, you can still have that with Judith. You can have. You know, Judith grown up is the one who's told the stories. And again, you can have that kind of over-the-topness because of how young she was, and all of it's been told to her, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, because realistically, the first 4 or 5 seasons...
Yeah, she wouldn't have understood what the hell was going on, or not even alive in season 1.
Yep.
So all of it would be based off of, you know, what she was told, how she was raised, how things were like said to her. So you could have that same thing. But anyway, there is an element for me anyway where I'm like watching these every episode, and I am thinking to myself, well, we could lose. I mean, Aaron's another one. I keep thinking to myself, I'm going to lose him any minute.
Yeah, he seems to be getting like a lot more screen time, a lot more story, a lot more. Almost like the arrogance towards the walkers and people and stuff now. Yeah. And I'm like, that's a dangerous thing. You don't want that.
Big time. Dangerous. Big time.
You get cocky, you get bit.
Yeah, no, completely. So moving away from the group at Alexandria, we're now going to catch up with the kind of battlefront, which is Negan, Maggie and their Whisperer-style Walker army.
Yes.
Versus Pope and his crew with Daryl kind of implanted in there. Pope sends a guy out and literally sends him out to die just to find out if Maggie and that lot's out there in amongst the herd.
Yeah.
He does it and gets called on it. Leah a few times has kind of questioned his... I don't know what the right word is, but his kind of...
I want to say motives, but I think it's more morals.
That's all right. I mean, motives, it could be, but it's this kind of unscrupulous care. You don't care about their lives.
No.
He does this big kind of, we're brothers and we all fight for each other and all this stuff.
And he killed someone for turning his back on a brother, but then he sends a guy out, literally, like you say, to die.
Yeah, and Leah kind of calls him on it. And, you know, he's the big guy in charge, so she kind of backs down. But we've seen it a few times, and Daryl's seen it a few times. And on a couple of occasions, Daryl has almost gone to speak to Leah to kind of try and turn the screw. Like, you know, this guy's off his head. You should be on my team, sort of thing.
Yeah.
We see, by the way... How fun was the minefield?
Yes.
Just such a kind of... They are army mercenaries, so they've obviously acquired...
They've thought about this, yeah.
They've thought about this. So seeing a herd come towards... And Daryl's like, oh, careful, you know, that's a big herd. They might not, you know, get for the walls. And they're like, it's fine, Daryl. He's like, but it's a big herd. They're like, Daryl,
yeah,
it's fine.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. You can see him kind of like, why are they not? Boom.
Yeah. When you're, if you're doing the old Whisperer walk, right?
Yep.
So you got the mask on and you're doing that whole trying to bring the herd to the wall thing.
Yep.
How much do you think you brick it when you start seeing that it's a minefield?
Oh, 100%.
Because you can't just leg it.
Nope.
You can't just kind of like...
There's pretty much nothing at that point that you can do other than go, no. Please, 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 please.
You just kind of like slowly stay on the same spot.
Let
like,
them overtake you a bit, yeah.
Yeah, oh look, I'm a walker and I'm stood still for a minute.
I would fall over.
Yeah, and just kind of like, oh, my leg's broke because I'm old and walkery.
And just very, very slowly crawl on the spot.
Yeah, it's very... I mean, I was kind of watching it. I was like, one, great defensive strategy.
Yep.
Two, what the hell are you going to do now? Like, you're literally... Like, I think it was Negan just like got this look on his face. You can see through the mask of like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I didn't plan for this.
Well, no.
Now?
I mean, you kind of just wish that, you know, Alpha had tried to take out this group at some point, because that'd have been hilarious.
There's someone the size of Beta walking towards it, and then boom!
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, game over.
They give it to the big guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look at the size of that walker in the air, flying through it. So, yeah. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Super Walker. Look at him go.
But yeah, no, that is... I mean, that's the second most impressive weapon that we see in this episode.
I'm glad you said that. I mean, my next note is a very cool weapon that's been designed by a combat engineer.
Yeah, it took me a few moments to work out what the hell it was.
Yeah, but I love stuff like that. I it feels like proper A-team, you know, but at the same time, you got to think about this group in the context of what they are, and this guy is a combat engineer. This guy literally would go into situations with like, oh, okay, so I need to turn this into this. Okay, I'm on it.
Yeah, how can you make this saucepan into a weapon? Well,
I'd sharpen this side. Saucepans, man. Frying pans, they're the weapons.
That's it, frying pans, yeah.
Yeah, who knew, right? But man, I love that. I was just so kind of like, this is awesome.
You kind of sit there, minefield. Yeah. You sit there and go, you've got through a minefield, and now you're going to have this, what looks like firework display with spears attached.
Just going to rip into, basically land in the walkers and then explode them.
Yeah.
Man, I loved it. And Daryl's kind of face is like, oh shit.
Yeah, Daryl's watching them get through. He's seen the two of them run off to one side, and he's like, okay, so those two are okay. Where's the rest?
Yeah, so he helps them
that weapon.
As well. Yeah, he helps them by killing one of the guys on guard.
Yeah.
Which was quite brutal.
Do you want a cigarette and your throat slit? Yeah.
Yeah. Smoking kills, boys and girls. I hope everyone's paying attention to that. What did you think about the moment where Daryl tells Leah? Because I'm like, I don't know. You'd seen for a few weeks she's been arguing a bit with Pope, but at no point did I think she'd be Team Daryl. She's like, she might not be Team Pope, but she'd be Team them. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%. She keeps going on about how they're her brothers, they're this, they're that. It's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then Daryl starts telling her, and you're like, no, Daryl, you are barking up the wrong end of this tree, mate.
Like, this ain't gonna work.
No.
The big moment is Pope ordering that they fire this weapon on the people, which includes his own people.
Yeah, you literally see Leah just snap at that point, and she's like, nope.
Yeah. And she kills him.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
Yeah, I didn't... See, in my mind, when that happened, I thought Daryl was going to do it, and Daryl was going to try and justify it as he was going to kill
all your people.
All the people I've had to act. And I kind of thought maybe the group she would kind of take it off. Basically it was a reversal of what actually happened. I thought she'd then go, Daryl, run. I'm going to tell him I did it. Sort of thing.
Yeah. But
no,
instead...
in reversal. Yeah, in reversal. She kills him. Daryl takes the witness out as well, because he was going to go for him.
Yeah.
And then she blames Daryl. She tells
Daryl
her,
killed
Daryl,
Pope. He's armed. He's on the run.
Yeah.
What?
I just didn't see that coming. I was like, I thought there was enough love between them that even if she ain't gonna go with him, she's gonna be like, Daryl, get out of here. I'll deal with this.
Nope.
But no, it was like, next time I see you, one of us is gonna die. Go away, kind of thing. I
was like, well, I did not expect that.
I was not expecting it. The episode ends on a cliffhanger
because they launched the firework display. Yeah. Daryl's down there, Maggie's down there, Negan's down there, Gabriel's down there.
Yeah, the guy whose name we can never remember is down there.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, so much happens in amongst this, sort of like vehicles being stolen and Maggie and stuff like that. There's an action-packed scene, but the cliffhanger ending, the show returns in February.
Yes.
With episode 9.
I think it's the 20th, so I think that's the 21st for the UK.
Yeah, 20th of February, USA, and then overnight, so midnight UK into the 21st, it arrives on Disney+, which is still such a weird thing that's on Disney+.
Yeah, you think of, certain Disney films like Rapunzel or Alice in Wonderland, Aladdin,
and Walking
Dead. Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's Disney plus other stuff, but yeah, it's still very.
It makes
odd.
me chuckle because when I log on now, it comes up like the banner at the top.
Yeah.
So I've clicked on Disney Plus. I've clicked on my little picture of Mickey Mouse as the login, and the first thing that comes up is Daryl, The Walking Dead, and I'm like, so wrong.
My picture is Mando.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got to be Mando.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, like I said when we were chatting earlier on, I mean, I think these 8 episodes have been really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of set us up nicely for the rest of season 11.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been really good. I've really enjoyed it.
Showing how good it's been. So I check on IMDb little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
The lowest ranking we've had is a 7.7.
Oh, wow.
Which was Daryl and the dog getting captured.
Okay.
But the rest, 9.1, 8.1, 8.3, 8.8, 8.2, 8.9, 8.7. I'm pretty sure last season, the highest was about 8.2.
Yeah, no, it was very good. It was very, very enjoyable. Great opening 8 episodes. And to me, it's like, we know this is the final season, so I'm glad it's going out strong. Do you know what I mean? It's like the show was so good, it went downhill.
It went crap.
When it announced it was ending, I felt an element of relief that it was ending.
Yeah.
Like, thank goodness that they're not just going to keep dragging out the same tired storylines.
Yeah.
But no, I think they're ending this strong. These opening 8 episodes have been great. I hope it continues. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to episode 9.
Now obviously there's 24 episodes in this season.
Yeah.
We've had a break at episode 8. Do you expect there's going to be another break at 16?
Honestly, don't know.
I mean, I can almost imagine there being a break at 16 and then it coming back and doing the October run as it normally does till 24.
Yeah, quite possibly.
But,
yeah, quite possibly. Well, I do think it's been split into 3.
Yeah.
So you're possibly right. But we'll keep an eye on that and we'll update the Facebook page if and when we see a schedule for it.
Yes.
But, as we said, episode 9 returns in February, so our review of the show will return then. The Walking Dead World Beyond is airing, season 2 now. We're going to watch and do a catch-up show soon where we sort of bring up to date with everything, and then we'll do it episodically. I'm in two minds about it.
Can I be honest? I've watched 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, you told me.
I was like, I can't do it. I just can't.
I'm in two minds about it, and I'll tell you what I'm in two minds about. I'm in two minds about doing it episodically or doing a review at the end. Because there isn't a great deal of content per episode that isn't really teeny.
Yeah.
And like, we did it episodically last year, and basically it was like a 30-minute podcast, and 20 minutes of that was just me and you bemoaning how it's just not aimed at us at all.
Yeah, and unfortunately from the first 20 minutes that I watched this season is the same thing.
Yeah, so I am tempted to say we'll watch that, and then we'll do a summary at the end, picking out key points and how it impacts Fear, The Walking Dead, or potentially the Rick movies. Because
I think that's the worst part, is the fact they've got us by the short and curly, because we have to watch it. Yeah. Because, well, we might tell you about Rick.
On the plus side, it is only 2 seasons. So this is it. You know, there isn't like an ongoing teenage angst thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what we'll do. But again, check the Facebook page. We'll update.
We'll let you know.
But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for listening. I want to say a big thank you to the few people who reached out as well to check on why we hadn't put this episode out yet. Really appreciate the well wishes when I replied. Thank you to everybody for continuing to support us. The show will keep rolling on. We got Marvel Mondays coming up, which will update you again. Keep checking the Facebook page.
24th of November.
Facebook.com/stuffandthangspodcast. You can always visit the website, all the W's, stuffandthangspodcast.com. Until our next episode, everybody, you take care.
That's a mid-season, 3rd season wrap.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.